That's the only aspect of throwing.
But that's throwing.
It is. Okay, so you see how it's kind of like, if I were to try to put my thumb in the middle right now, one part of the clay would be thick wall, one side would be thin. And that would make the clay eventually tear apart. So we center the clay like that. And then the next thing is to find the center of the clay with your thumb hand. This is what we call opening up the clay. And I don't know if you've ever seen a jazz drummer, but jazz drummers are always doing this. Potters also are doing stuff.
You're improvising a little.
Yeah. So now I'm squeezing the wall of the clay, which makes it go up. Oops.
How does the clay feel about being pushed around?
Submission.
So does the pressure on the inside and the outside have to be really even?
Yep. Unless you're wanting to purposely make it wider or make it narrower. Okay. So,
How many do you think you make in 1 year?
well, let's put it this way. I can make the throwing part, I can make probably about 20 an hour. But, there's other processes. I mix the clay, I wedge the clay, throw the pot, I may trim a little bit of the bottom, and when it gets stiff enough, I'll put a handle, make a handle, put a handle on. So there's, some more
Like
stuff.
the expertise of what you just made look so easy
Right.
takes a lot of repetitive
Yeah.
knowledge. Like,
A lot of failures.
right, a lot of failure, a lot of stop and start.
Yep.
But also, like when you're doing these steps of the journey of that coffee pot,
Right.
you have to be really focused on those steps so that this part is really easy.
Needs to dry, which could make it go, I'm so stiff now. I was flexible before. His hands were all over me, shaping me. Where'd he go? He's forgotten me.
What would happen if you put coffee in it now?
We could go in the house and try it and see.
Be gross, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it would dissolve the clay or not. We put liquid inside. It wasn't like pouring. That's a great question.
But the coffee wouldn't taste good, probably.
It'd be a bit muddy.
So just because it's the right shape doesn't mean it's done.
Right.
I can feel myself wanting to be like, okay, well, we'll just go fire this and now it's just ready. You know that this is a long process.
Sure. And when I would do my messages on the wheel travel, that was one of the pieces that I would kind of talk about. So, and I would kind of animate the clay so that it had more personality. You know, what are you doing to me now? And where are we going outside of the shop? We've never been out of the shop. And what's this fire? What are you doing? You're going to destroy me.
One of the things that struck me as you were pulling was that it's quite messy for you.
Oh, yeah.
You are, no offense, a mess.
No,
and your hands, there was extra clay that came off. Like, I don't know that I have a question even, but that's one of the things that struck me. Like, for the potter to be involved with the pot, it's so hands-on, you get messy.
Right.
You're close enough to get messy.
That's such a good guiding.